Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to the Scrap 5 challenge for June. These are the items we're using on our layout today that were chosen by Jessie. And I am going to be using one photo on my layout today of myself and my grandson. You can see there I have two prints, one in black and white, one in color. And I'm pulling out this really beautiful collection by Close to My Heart. Here I have bits and pieces left over. I used this collection already and maybe one or two layouts here on my channel, so I thought it would go well with this photo today. And right away, laying it on that pattern paper, I can tell that I'm going to be using the black and white print. So I'm going to go through right now and pick the background that I think looks best, and we're going to be doing a 60-40 split on the background. So I decided to go with this here as the 60 on my background. Loving that print. It gives me sort of an instant background. Just need to add a few embellishments and you're pretty much set with that beautiful pattern paper there. So I'm going to cut this at about 7.5 inches wide, and this diagonal stripe would be my 40 on my background. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the zip strip right now, and I do want to save the part of the pattern paper you're not going to see once I add in that pattern paper there. The part that's going to be behind that beautiful floral paper, I want to save it. So I'm going to trim that diagonal paper down, but leaving a little bit so that way I can connect them both right now. So here I'm just using my craft mat there. There is a 12 by 12 grid in the center of this Altenew mat, and I'm using it to line up my paper strips right now to give me my 12 by 12 background. So now I have my 12 by 12 background already. I am pulling in that zip strip that I saved from that diagonal pattern paper. Here I'm just trying to figure out where I want to use it. I really love the pattern on there, and I know I wanted to use it on this layout. And I decided to go ahead and lay it right where both pattern papers connect. So I'm going to use my ATG adhesive and go ahead and adhere that down. Here I'm going to do some stamping. We're going to be doing stamping on our layouts today, and I decided to use this beautiful floral stamp, lots of vines, and I'm going to use it together with a gray ink pad that I think goes really well with the print on that pattern paper. You can see there's a black on there as well, but it's a very washed out, almost like a dark gray, not really a black on that pattern paper. So I decided to go with the gray, and I'm not really getting a good impression on my paper there because that part that I had masking off was a little bit thick. So I'm going to remove it and use that strip of purple tape instead. And that still doesn't help too much. So I'm going to end up just removing that paper and just going directly on that diagonal stripe and using just the edge of the pattern on that stamp there. And this is one of my favorite stamps to use. This is from Hero Arts. And once I can find all of these items online, I will have them all linked in my description box below. So I'm just filling in with the vine, and this pattern on the stamp is really, really nice. You can layer it, and it does not, this is a stamp you don't really have to line up with the previous stamped image at all. You can just keep stamping and layering it, and it looks really, really nice. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in where I think needs some more of those vines. And now towards the bottom part. And I'm really loving how this looks. Now I will go ahead and place my title on that side of my layout. But first, I want to go ahead and define the edge of this background. So I'm using some black Soot Distress Oxide ink together with my finger dauber. I'm going to go all the way around my layout. Next up, I will go ahead and add some mats behind my photo. Now I did trim off just about a ½ inch of the top part of my photo, so it's about 5½ inches tall now. And I'm gonna mat it on this teal pattern paper, which is actually the back side of that diagonal stripe paper that I saved before. I'm gonna ink the edge there of that pattern paper, and then I'll place it on this piece of scrap that I have from a previous layout. And then I'll go ahead and ink the edge of that as well. And now once again with the teal pattern paper. And I do apologize for my camera shaking. This is actually a brand new setup for me in a new area in my home. And I am now noticing that my camera is shaking that I didn't know was happening before. So I will have to make sure and take care of that for my next video. Here I decided to add some foam adhesive behind my photo to give some dimension, and I'm doubling on that foam adhesive because I wanted it lifted a little bit more than it normally would be with just one strip. And I went ahead and adhere that down. I'm also making my tag right now using scraps of that diagonal stripe paper. I'm going to use actually both sides of this paper. So I went ahead and added the tag punch to both ends, and I'm going to rip this. I'm going to do the tearing right now. So my tags will have a torn edge. And I do want to layer them one behind the other. But first I am going to go ahead and ink the edge with that black soot once again. And also inking where my twine, or you can also add a ribbon where that would be. So we're going to also be using washi, and I decided to go with this very, very thin washi tape. If I can find these on Amazon where I got them, I will link it below. But the pack that I got had some really, really awesome designs. This one would be a chevron in silver and white. Now I found a strip of that paper and it was a little bit thinner, and I like how it looked a lot better than having both of the tags there on the right the same width. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch that out. Now that one, I'm not gonna waste it, of course. I'm gonna put that on the left side of my layout, and you can see I'm just placing it there, but it does not stay there. I will eventually move it. I pulled this little label off the sticker sheet where I'll add a tiny bit of journaling that says this is Jaden Grandma and the year that this photo was taken. And I placed that right below my photo. And here I have a sticker from the sticker sheet layered with some of that pattern paper. It says Better Together. And I went ahead and inked the edge of that as well. And I'm just pulling out some more stickers from the sticker sheet here, some floral bits and pieces, inking the edge of everything I'm adding onto this background. I also added in my title that says Happy Times and inked the edges of those alphas as well. And here I decided to go ahead and place this floral sticker up on some foam adhesive. I also added a bit of that washi to the tag that's on the right side. And I will go ahead and add in the word phrase that said "better together" on the right tag as well. And just place a floral piece there on the tag also. You can see I'm moving that leaf up. It did tear the tag a little bit, but once I place that word phrase there and the floral piece, it will get covered up. So here I'm just pulling in these florals, inking the edge of course, and laying them on my background. Really loving how this is coming together. Like I said, that background pattern paper really did help a whole lot. It did a lot of the work, just add embellishments. So I went ahead and added the third tag really close to my title on the left side there. And here I have my brads. Now these are really old brads. I just have a few brads in my stash, and these are from, I believe, 2008. These are from Basil, and it went perfectly with this collection. The color, these are some pearl ones, and the color went so well. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and add some twine, some silver and white twine to my tags, and a little trick that I do would be to add some liquid adhesive behind my twine. Just twist them exactly how I want them to look, and I'll add a little bit of adhesive behind them and keep them in place. Now once you place this in a page protector, they're not gonna get loose at all. It's gonna stay in place. So now I'll work on my brads. Now this first one I'm adding in next to my title, I added it a little bit too close. I added the hole a little bit too close to that floral piece, so I'll have to pull that up and just shift it over a tiny bit. But I'm using my brad setter there, which is a perfect tool because I always stick my finger on the end of the brad, but this helps me to make that hole that I need. And once you flip it over, you can use it to split the ends together, the ends apart I should say, and lay them flat like I'll show you right now. Makes setting these brads really easy. So I have the first one in place, and I went ahead and added a second one right below my photo, and I'll add a third one. I believe I add the third one on top of that tag. Yes, I do. Close to the edge of that layout. Then I'll go ahead and flip my page over. I am gonna use that purple tape to add it on those metal edges. That way once I slide another layout behind this one, it's not gonna snag on that layout and destroy it at all. So now I'm just looking through these word phrases here, pulling, I believe I used 2 of these word phrases. One says, "I love your face," and the other one says, "love you to the moon and back." Now be sure to check out my description box. Like I said, I will have everything listed that I used today on my layout, and I will also have the links to everyone participating in this hop today down in my description box as well. We do this hop every month, and if you would like to join us, play along, be sure to tag us, let us know where we can see your layout. You can use hashtag Scrap5 on Instagram, or just comment below, let us know where we can find you. So here to finish up, I am adding some black splatters. I did consider using the gray ink, but I figured once it dried, it would be a little bit too light. So I'm using the black, and it looks pretty dark right now, but once it dries, it will lighten up a bit. And coming up, I will give you guys a close-up look at my completed layout. I hope you guys were inspired. I hope you enjoyed the process today. And I want to thank you for watching. Until my next video, bye.